What's up, Megan's 5 family?
It's Marlene and Angie here. How you guys doing?
We back and we better. Okay, so today we have a much requested video for y'all. Yeah, the boys are napping. It is our fertility journey. Everybody has been asking us on TikTok, on YouTube, on Facebook, everywhere. People have been requesting this video, so we are here to finally answer your questions and just a quick story time for y'all. So yeah,
Hope you guys like it.
yeah, and if you haven't done so already, make sure you like this video quickly and subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit that notification bell, and let's get into it.
All right, guys, so just a quick recap on how we met. If you haven't seen our last video, like she said, just go ahead and we'll put the
Post the link in the bio.
Put the link in the bio for you guys. But really quick, we met through a mutual friend that I was hanging out with at the time, and I guess she knew before and she just was like, hey, I need you to meet my friend. So I was like, cool, let's do it. Kind of.
Yeah, and then
It was
we
a
met.
nice move.
Yeah. And here we are today with 3 kids.
Yeah.
So how that happened is, well, first off, let's start off with, we tried, how many years did we end up trying? 3?
Yeah, about 3 years.
We tried for 3 years.
And that would be probably about, how many times? I'd say like probably 5.
Yeah, about 5 times. And we did at-home inseminations, and we did inseminations through a fertility clinic. And we did not do IVF. A lot of people think that we did IVF to end up with 3 kids. We did not.
Just so you guys know, like, the difference too, we should go over the difference, like, between IUI and IVF.
IUI is intrauterine insemination, and IVF is in vitro. So IUI is just where they inject the sperm directly into your uterus. So past your fallopian tube, so you have
a greater chance
in getting pregnant. So in IVF is where they remove my egg from me, or whoever wants to carry, they remove it, and then they put the sperm in the egg, and then they put it back inside of me. So that's a greater chance than an IUI. It's just way more expensive. So we did, every time we did it, we did an IUI. And the times we did at home, we didn't have any luck. And then
it was just a home one sounded more appealing to us, because then that way I'm also involved in the process, as you could understand I would be, and like in doing it ourselves and stuff like that. So we thought that would sounded more appealing after trying already a few times
we tried twice at the fertility
clinic,
and then twice at home. It was nice to do it at home because yes, she was more involved. And quickly, just tip, if you are going through a fertility process, or you are looking to go in for a fertility process and your partner wants to be involved, the nurses there should be very willing to let your partner do it. You know, like push it in, you know? So it sucks that it can't be more, what do you want to say, like more involved, but you know, that little extra thing, you know,
goes a long way, and it helps and makes your partner feel comfortable as well.
It does.
I think, like, with a lot of people going through this right now, there are a lot of different feelings, especially between you and your partner, and like outside feelings probably from your family and stuff like that, pressure. Individually, how are you feeling?
Yeah, I think that's a really good point, and it definitely needs to be talked about, because individually, you know, I was feeling super stressed out. I was feeling like, you know, the pressure was all on me because Marlene didn't want to carry, which is completely fine, and I did want to carry. I've always wanted to carry a child, so was perfectly fine with that. But however, the pressure was on, and not being able to, the disappointment, you don't only feel like you're disappointing yourself, you feel like you're disappointing your partner. So it's really hard. And if anybody else is watching and, you know, I feel like it's important to not pressure other people or ask people, when are you going to have a kid? Or, you know, you never know what somebody is going through.
Exactly.
You never know. Like, there's plenty of people who are trying to have children and are struggling. Fertility is a hard thing to go through. And fertility is a really hard thing to go through. So I feel like that should be addressed. And, like, don't pressure your partner into, you know, continuing to try and try and try. If you like your partner needs a break, then I feel like that's important too. You know, like sometimes you just need a little break from trying, because it's hard mentally, emotionally, physically, especially with going through fertility, like medications. It messes with your hormones, it messes with, like, you get side effects from the medication. So it's like you can't pressure your partner. I can't speak for Marlene, but I know that I did put a lot of pressure on her as well. So, because I was about, since we really want this, the timing has to be perfect. And that is very important, but you can't pressure your partner in that way too. And I feel like I did that a lot. What do you think?
I think individually, I was just, I think we were kind of being consumed with a schedule and not particularly like just focusing on the love that we have for each other and, you know, making it happen naturally instead of forcefully. And, you know, it's like when we want something, when we both want something hard, like just really, really want something, we make a list, we, you know, keep a schedule and stuff like that. And that's what she was doing. You were really like just keeping that schedule, and you were like, all right, we got to do this. I'm ovulating, you know, we got to do this in between this time, and we got to do it, like, you know. And it's just like, for me, sex has never been like something that I need to have in a relationship. And suddenly our relationship mostly became that. It was just that, you know. It seemed like I was being used as a tool more than anything, just to keep her hormones up and, you know, all that. So, because that all helps, and I loved helping, and I loved like being a part of the process, and I loved how you would make me feel like, you know, like involved, you know, and like you wanting me to be a part of that. So I enjoyed that part of it. But it becomes a schedule, it becomes just something that you do, and like something that, you know, like doesn't have a lot of love in it, and you can feel like that as the partner that, you know, isn't, you know, gonna be carrying the child. But so I was just feeling a lot of pressure from that, and it made me not want to do it a lot of times. It made me just feel like, you know, maybe if it wasn't happening for her, it was because I didn't want to, you know, I was feeling that way or stuff like that. It's just, you start getting wrapped up in just the pressure of it, and just all the feelings and everything gets caught up in it. So I don't know, I think that's how I was feeling, and I think then we took it out on each other a lot.
Yeah, we started fighting a lot, and that does not
fighting
help.
Like arguing.
Yeah, yeah.
So
and that doesn't help.
That definitely
Stress
doesn't help.
Is
Stress
like
doesn't
the
help,
number
period.
one factor.
Yeah.
To affect not
the
getting
birthing
pregnant.
Process, that whole process, like it affects it. Like you completely have to like
be completely relaxed. Your body has to be completely relaxed.
Once the sperm has been injected and was injected inside of her or whatever, it was like, all right, now you gotta rest and relax for the next 24 hours, and, you know, like don't get under pressure, don't get in your head and stuff like that. And it's just like, a lot of times we were just, as soon as it happened, we were like, all right, like it's happening this time.
Yeah.
And like I feel like then we would get inside of our heads, and we would, you know, put more pressure to like for it to happen. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, we'd get upset at each other or something like that, and it's just like, then there's that pressure of thinking, okay, well, did that ruin it?
You never know what it is, and then you put the blame on yourself
and your partner,
and it causes a lot of issues.
Mm-hmm.
So I think like my main, like there's a lot of tips that I personally could give you guys. Like for one, the main tip I would give is being completely relaxed.
Yes.
Don't overthink that,
and like understand that it's not you versus your partner. It's you and your partner together versus the issue, and versus that, like, you have to tackle this thing on together. You have to be completely together on it. Put all of everything else aside, because you both want this, and understand that it's just gonna come with a lot of pressure. It's gonna come with a lot of responsibility, and and
I think what we finally realized too together is that it's gonna happen when it's gonna happen, and we can't like, if we are gonna try again, maybe, possibly, who knows, I wouldn't stress about it. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't, and that's so hard. It's so hard to look at it like that when you're going through it. And I can't say that if I didn't have kids right now and we were still trying, that would be the mentality I had, because it's really hard. But if that would be the way I would have been thinking the whole time, it might have worked before it did. Because when you overthink and you overthink and you overthink, you're stressing yourself out. And I truly believe the reason I got pregnant is because I didn't think I was going to get pregnant that time. I had my hopes up every single time before that I was going to get pregnant.
Yeah, it was like, as soon as we would get it, it's like, all right.
Yeah, and I was
like,
checking.
hopes just immediately up.
I was checking for symptoms like, oh, I woke up a little nauseous today at day 7, and
which can happen, guys. It can happen when you when you do that and you get nauseous, or you get like these, what do they call it, something pregnancy,
I know what you're talking about, a chemical pregnancy
where
it's all
in
your head,
and you like think this,
and that's like, completely normal. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
Your body is a lot stronger than we think it is. Like, if you think something, it manifests. And it can,
and what you're feeling is real.
That stuff.
What you're feeling is real. It's not like you're imagining it.
Right.
It's real. It's just not actually happening.
Not always.
Yeah. All you ladies out there that are trying, here are a few things that I did personally that helped me. First thing is download the Flow app. It helps you track your periods, your ovulation cycle, and do that. I suggest doing that 6 months before you want to start trying, or if you're already trying, start now. And get ovulation strips to test as soon as it'll tell you. Once you get your first day of your period, it'll tell you when that week is that you should be ovulating. Test about 2 days before it says you're about to ovulate, and then just keep until you get that little smiley face or that red line or whatever the case may be, and just keep tracking your ovulation.
Do not track your sex, okay? Track your sex, but don't schedule your sex, okay? Don't tell your partner, okay, hey, we have to do this, and that. Don't do that. What you ladies could do, like, if you are a sexual person, or if you're very dedicated and you want this to happen, so you know that you have to have sex, so you're like, all right, let's do this, we have to do this, then instead just try to make your partner, who might not be as sexual as you are, or if they are, you're lucky, because then y'all go like rabbits, you know what I'm saying? But if they're not as sexual as you are, or need that motivation to get there, then do something romantic for them. Make them feel special and wanted and needed. Don't don't make them follow a sex schedule, because that is so much pressure on your partner and yourself. And then when you feel like they don't want to do it, and then you feel like they're not as into it as you are, when they completely are. It's just, sex is a big deal. It's a lot of pressure to make a baby, period. So don't schedule it. Just when you want it to happen, or if you both want it to happen, do something special for each other, and make it happen naturally, or at least make it seem like it's happening naturally.
And let me just quickly say, because I think a lot of people might be a little confused, sexual, interaction, even if you're in a same-sex relationship, is important for your hormones. So let's just make that clear. Yes, a lot of people get confused when we talk about that kind of thing, because they don't understand what we're talking about, but it is an important factor if you are in a same-sex relationship. When you're in your ovulation cycle, having those type of situations, heightens your hormones. So yeah. Another thing you can do natural things like drink pineapple juice when you're ovulating. Eating healthy, they say, helps. These are all things that they say helps, but as you know, people get pregnant all the time doing things naturally, or things that you're not supposed to do to get pregnant.
A big fan, we're not big fans of junk food or fast food or anything like that, and keeping away from that stuff. I feel like this last round helped as well, because I was cooking a lot. We were cooking a lot.
We were eating healthy,
eating super healthy, working out. Just keep your body as clean and as healthy as possible. Angela stopped drinking for a year before we actually got pregnant.
Yep.
She
took prenatals.
She was on prenatals for what,
2 years.
2
it
years.
helps with your hair growth, your nail growth, girl. I didn't have to wear fake nails for a long time. Now that you have kids, your nails, and you get all thin and your hair gets all thin, but it's okay. It's all worth it.
Yeah, it falls out for a year. It's still falling out over here.
But prenatals before you get pregnant, really good.
Eat healthy, exercise. Just do a lot of healthy stuff. If you're a smoker, I would advise also just stop smoking. Just for at least for the time you're trying to get pregnant, and obviously when you're pregnant, because that helps a lot. And your professionals at the clinic will tell you all of this stuff as well, but I'm just letting you guys know, like, it is super, super, super important to just take care of your body first before anything.
Now, let's get into the big question now. How it happened, when it actually happened, what did we do different, what happened? Let's get into it. Okay, so the time it happened, what we did differently. 1, I was on letrozole. So that is a fertility medication that gives you more eggs per se, or makes the eggs that you already have larger in size.
Right. That's the important part. Like, it doesn't make more eggs for you. It helps the eggs that you do produce already naturally grow better
in bigger sizes,
because you need a certain healthy sized egg to actually get pregnant. So perfect. You were developing a lot of eggs.
Oh yeah, every time
decent size eggs. So that's what I think people think too, is they put those eggs in you, or they made eggs for you. No, she naturally could grow eggs. They just would not grow to a healthy size on their own.
And let me just say that this time I had, with the fertility medication, I had 3 decent size eggs. However, the last few times I
You
had
some pretty healthy,
decent sized eggs, okay? So
they told us this last time.
Yeah.
They're okay, so there were 3,
there
was
three.
one that was like
Yeah. No.
Not
there
as good.
There was 4 decent sized eggs that she was like could be possibilities. 3 of them were really good size.
2 of them were like the best.
2 of them
size.
were the best size.
So we were like, oh, we're definitely.
So she was like, we're definitely, you know, she was like, you're getting
twins.
pregnant.
And I was like,
she was like,
cool.
Yeah, and she was like, there could be a possibility of multiples. We had this. I didn't even think twins was a possibility.
I was thinking twins for sure.
I wasn't.
I was hoping twins. I'd say definitely hoping.
I had like maybe a slight hope of twins because I mean, adorable, like, you know. But
and
anyway,
also I feel like one of the most important parts of this of our journey was the place that we chose. Because of the people there.
Oh my gosh.
They were super helpful.
Yes.
Our doctor was really cool, laid back, relaxed.
Our doctor was amazing. If she was a pediatrician, she would be the boys' doctor.
She would have been the boys' doctor,
yes,
for sure.
She is the absolute best. The other thing that we did differently is we went in for the follicle check. So the follicle check is at your 11-day cycle. So day 1 of your cycle is your first day of your period. At day 11, you go in for an egg check to check how big your eggs are. You start the letrozole on day 3 of your cycle. This is all my experience, just saying my experience. That's what we did differently, is the 3 more days of the letrozole. I think that's what did it. Those grew the eggs a little bit more.
Yeah.
So we did the 3 more days of the letrozole, and then she also ordered an ovulation trigger shot. I think that's what did it too, because timing is key. Timing is key to getting pregnant. So I got the little smiley face. That night, I did the shot in the stomach. It's called Ovidril. Yeah, it's called Ovidril. It triggers your ovulation right away. The next day after that shot, you go in and you get the IUI. So that's what we did. We went in, we got the IUI.
What was that one procedure that you had to go through though?
Oh, let's bring it back for that. So because we tried the 4 times and it didn't happen.
Been
Yes.
trying and trying. It was kind of like a last resort.
My doctor, she was actually confused as to why we hadn't gotten pregnant yet,
because we were healthy.
Yeah,
she
I'm
didn't
young.
smoke, didn't drink at the time.
The only thing she said that could have been a factor is my weight. She said I was a little underweight.
Underweight, yeah.
So, which, whatever.
So we ate a few times.
Yeah.
Pretty good meals.
But she ordered an HSG test, which is basically just to check to see if your fallopian tubes are blocked. Because if your fallopian tubes are blocked, the sperm can't get in. And by doing that test, if they are blocked by any type of way, you unblock them.
So basically blocked by like mucus, anything like bacteria, stuff like that. Like,
so we did that test, and disclaimer, it is one of the most painful things I've ever been through.
Horrible.
But after that test and doing it, along with the extra little 3 days of letrozole, the Ovidril trigger shot, we ended up with triplets. So HSG test,
basically her highway was wide open for this to happen.
But yeah, so those are what worked for us. But we honestly, and this time, why I say that relaxing plays a big factor is because coincidentally, after we had the IUI, I got a tooth infection right after, and I had to take ibuprofen every single day, back to back, like around the clock. And whoever knows is dealing with fertility, ibuprofen is not good for fertility because it's a blood thinner and it messes with your wall, your implantation wall. And implantation is what gets you pregnant. So, and I was taking it, so I was like, we're screwed this time once again.
And of course, like, we made sure first to call professionals when she got that.
Yeah.
When that happened before, we were like, well, I mean, we're trying to get pregnant. We just, got injected and stuff like that. Are you sure I should be? And they were like,
you gotta do what you gotta do.
Do what you gotta do. You either want to be in pain or,
So, and I was like, well, then I gotta do what I gotta do. And I had no idea.
And I think though, like, that also helped us relax as well, because we were like, well,
it's not gonna happen this time.
Yeah, we were like, all right, well, if it really isn't happening this time because of all this and you being stressed because of the pain that you were in and stuff like that, then we're just gonna take a break. We're gonna relax. We're gonna like do things that we've been wanting to do, travel, stuff like that. And I feel like getting it out of our head and out of our mind relaxed us both.
Yep.
So I feel like that
helped a lot. Yeah.
You being in pain helped us.
Yeah.
Thanks for taking one for the team.
So I didn't have any idea, and then day 9 after ovulation or after insemination, I decided to take a test.
Of course.
And that's way early, so don't
She's
do that.
Impatient,
don't do that. Wait the whole
known.
14 days. Don't do what I did. Wait the whole 14 days, because you're not gonna get. You may or may not, but it's
gonna be
unlikely.
inaccurate.
It's unlikely to get a positive that early. And the only reason why I did is because my HCG levels were so high from having 3 babies. That's the only reason why I got a positive that early. But I tested, and actually on day 9 I tested and I got a faint positive, but I didn't wait long enough and I didn't see the line and I threw it in the garbage. And then the next day I tested it again and I got a positive and I was like, oh my God, I'm freaking out.
We're at day 10 now. And then
I came out and I showed Marlene and I was freaking out, and I actually went in the trash.
No, babe, was it day 10 that you showed me? I thought it was day 12 that you showed me. Because you had already had like 3 or 4 tests in there before.
Possibly.
I think, on day 12 was when you were like, hey, babe. I'm playing my video game, and she comes out. It's like in the morning time or whatever, and she goes, hey, it's day 12. Do you think I should take a test? And I was like, yeah, sure. And I stopped my game and everything and got nervous. And she comes right back out, like, almost immediately. And I'm like,
I already did.
Yeah, she's like, oh, because I already did. Wait, what?
And I was, like, bawling. I was, like, so scared. I wanted to tell her in such a cute way, but...
She's impatient.
Yeah. I was so scared. I was so scared. I didn't know what I was literally shaking. You know, I'm the type of person I am.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been able to hold that in. So, and then I looked in the trash, and of course, all of them just positive in the trash can. I'm like, oh wow, so the whole time. Finally, when we found out it was 3, so first off,
that was around the time, so it was March when we found out, right?
This was when COVID was going on.
Yeah, and that was right when COVID was like a huge thing. We were already home, right?
Yeah.
From our jobs to work at home. And so we had to schedule the appointment at the fertility clinic for the first ultrasound, and I wasn't allowed to be in there, so I couldn't even go in.
Can I
for the
tell
first
the
one.
story?
Sure.
Oh my God, you guys. So I go in for the appointment, the ultrasound, and mind you, already at 6 weeks I was so sick. So we would joke around and say, like, I bet you have twins in there. Like, we would joke around. Now I would joke around, like, but in the back of my mind thinking, like, if people are really this sick, like, with one baby, holy, like, I really thought that I had 2.
At the point where we were gonna be going in for the ultrasound, you had already did your blood test, and that was pretty high.
Yeah, and the HCG test was so high. My fertility doctor was like, your levels are pretty high. Like, she even thought that twins. So and how sick I was, we were expecting twins. I shouldn't say we were expecting twins, but I wouldn't have been surprised if there were twins. So we went in, and Marlene's in the car, and she drops me off, and she's like, I really have to pee. She's like, I'm gonna go to the gas station up the street. Are you good? And I'm like, yeah. So she goes to the gas station.
And at this point, we're on Duo, the Duo app that allows us to video chat.
Because she has an Android.
Haters. I hate iPhone users suck.
Oh, comment Team iPhone.
Team Droid.
Anyway, but yeah, so we're on Duo, and she's on her way to Quick Trip, and I'm waiting, you know,
in the waiting room, and then eventually she gets called in.
Yeah, and then
I'm like just getting into the gas station, about on my way to the bathroom.
Yep. And then the doctor comes in, and she's like asking me questions, and then she gets the thing out, and then Marlene's in the bathroom peeing.
Yeah, like I'm like the phone is like right next to me on the side thing, so they don't see it, and I'm muted. So
she's peeing.
I'm peeing
while she's like going across my stomach, and she's literally dead ass, just like so just calm about it too. She's like 1, 2, 3, just as I thought, and she keeps talking like, and I'm like, wait a minute, what did you say?
Way too cool about it.
And I look at Marlene, and Marlene's face is like,
I'm in the damn. I'm like.
And I'm like, immediately, my body just froze. I'm like, what? Like, I was freaking out. And then, on a serious note, then she starts talking about, you know,
our options
and all the risks and all of that.
Prior to that, she did ask us, like, would you guys be okay with multiples if you had multiples, blah, 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 like at least 2, because like we said, her eggs she had 3 good ones. 2 of them were really, really good, and 1 was not as good as it could have been. Mm-hmm. So that's when she asked us that question, and we were like, yeah, you know. So twins was like, sure, like why not? 2 is
because
not bad.
Who thinks nobody even going through a fertility process, at least, I mean, if you do, then fine. Nobody thinks, yes, give me triplets. I mean, if you do, then fine. And our babies are a blessing.
You're probably in a lot better financial situation than we were.
Our babies are a blessing. We don't regret it.
Absolutely.
We love them. I wouldn't voluntarily put myself in this situation to have triplets again. However, I don't regret it at all. And
it's truly been...
It is the best.
A wild and crazy, but fun and rewarding ride so
Oh my
far.
gosh, the best.
So we find out, she tells us it's 3. Obviously, we're shocked. And I come speeding back after the restroom and just come out of the car, and I'm just like... like, and she comes out, and like I think you were just overwhelmed with emotion that you just finally start crying, and you know, we both kind of just our happy crazy selves, you know, like oh my god,
it was, oh gosh, I don't even know, like it was an overwhelming amount of different emotions, you know, like excitement, anxiety, being nervous, happy, all of any feeling you can think of, I was feeling it.
So like she was saying, the doctor, she gave us options of, you know, like just in case, you know, it's just typical stuff I feel like in the medical field that you have to allow your patients to know and give them that information so that they don't feel like if they didn't want to be in that certain predicament that they have options. And suddenly we were hit with a bunch of that type of stuff, like if we didn't want 3, if, you know, like adoption options or to remove, like, and it was just all a lot. But I don't think we were even thinking about that at the time. We were just, you know, happy to even be pregnant.
Yeah.
So,
and to have 3 healthy heartbeats and 3 healthy babies. Like, it was just an amazing feeling. Well, Ezekiel wanted to join us.
Yes. He was done with his nap.
Yes. Say hi, everybody. Say hi. So just to quickly recap, infertility is very hard, but it'll be okay, and it'll happen when it happens, and there are support groups out there for people struggling. We are always open to talk and answer questions if anybody has any. Hopefully we covered most of people's questions about our personal journey, and
hopefully this helps someone out there, you know, just get through it, get, you know, some peace of mind that you know, everyone goes through infertility, and it does take time. It's a long, excruciating process, but it doesn't have to be horrible. It doesn't always, the whole time doesn't have to be, you know, stressful.
Yes. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for all your support, and keep commenting video ideas for us. We love y'all so much. Thank y'all so much for 100K on TikTok.
Yes.
And thank you for continuing to follow our content, and we love you guys.
Remember, guys, like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and also subscribe to our TikToks if you want to see us be our crazy 5 selves.
Yes. All right, well, we love you guys.
Love you guys.
Bye.